Hey everyone, Happy New Year! Welcome to the first 2026 episode of A Lifestyle Today. I'm Justine Santinello. I hope you all had a magical holiday season and are now settling back into your normal routines where things might be a little less hectic than they've been these last few weeks. I am so excited to kick off another amazing year together with episodes filled with all of our favorite things, right? Celebrity guests, meal and cooking inspiration, trends, gift guides, and so much more. Now, as we head into the new year, a lot of us are reflecting, not just on goals and resolutions, but on the relationships that shape our lives. It's important to remember that growth doesn't always look like adding more people, more commitments, or more access. A lot of times, growth is recognizing that not everyone from your past is meant to move into your future with you. Damali Peterman is an author and conflict resolution expert, and she's joining us now to help us make empowering decisions for the new year. Welcome to the show.
I'm so delighted to be here.
We are very excited to have you. I feel like this is a very hot button topic right now, right? Setting boundaries, knowing who's good for us, who's not. So let's start with boundaries. I think a lot of us have issues setting boundaries, keeping boundaries. How do we get better about that in the new year?
Well, it's really important to communicate your boundaries, right? Because you can't get upset with someone if they don't respect your boundaries, if they don't know what your
Right.
boundaries are.
Sure.
And I think a really important thing to remember about boundaries is it's not about control, it's about clarity. And so making sure
Hmm.
people communicate those boundaries, preferably with an I statement, right?
Okay.
And so
I
making
like
it
that.
about so you would say I need some space or I need some time to work on X and making it more about you, the individual, as opposed to the actions of the other person. So that's really important. That's really important.
So then your talk that leads me into having these conversations with
Right.
people, right? Like sometimes having that talk about boundaries, those can be difficult, hard to have conversations, right? So how do we better approach that? How do we make those hard conversations maybe not quite as hard?
Well, one, thinking about having some grace, right? So
Mhm.
starting the conversation with grace and making sure the other person understands that it's not about them, it's about what you need at this time.
Sure.
And it's really important to think about boundaries as a way to sustain a relationship as opposed to separating,
Mm.
right? Because
Yes.
oftentimes when someone articulates a boundary, the other person is like, oh, what did I do? Or, we're on the odds, right?
Right.
But that's not always the case. So when you know it's a difficult conversation, you have to prepare for it, right? Every relationship isn't supposed to be a whole book. Sometimes they're just a chapter,
Yes.
right? And if we normalize recognizing that there is a season, perhaps a reason for a relationship, then it's easy to say, you know what? You may be a part of my past. It doesn't necessarily mean you have a spot or a place in my future. And
Right.
that's okay. So we have to first normalize that.
Yeah, I don't think that that has been completely normalized by any means. So, when we are kind of picking and choosing now what's going to be right for us in the new year, how do you feel like we can make that a little bit clearer for ourselves and then prioritize the relationships and the things that are actually meaningful?
So I think it's really important to look at the relationships and figure out what value add is happening, right? And I
Mm,
think value add can go both ways, but remembering that everyone isn't a chapter, isn't a book, could just be a chapter in your life.
sure.
And so I think it's important to recognize how you are evolving and how you want to evolve. Is this person a part of your past and a part of your past that you don't want to take into the future? Meaning, does this person bring out the best version of you? Are
Yeah.
they adding value to your life? Are you adding value to their lives? And thinking about, is there space? And when I say that, what I'm thinking is, okay, maybe this is my year to be more fit, for example.
Sure.
Who do I want to be with me on that journey? Is there someone who enables me, who always brings me cookies, who doesn't
Totally.
work out with me, who
Yep.
cannot be a real accountability partner? Like, let's think about it. And
Yeah.
should this person be on that journey with me? Maybe the answer is no. And so there are different ways to think about it. I think sometimes, especially when I'm talking about normalizing, we think some things are just meant to be, or that's the way it's always been, so we're going to keep doing it that way.
Yes.
oh, this person is family, so we have to give them a pass to give them opportunities to do X, Y, and Z to us again. No,
No.
it doesn't matter if it's your longest standing friend from childhood. It doesn't
Mhm.
matter if it's someone who shares the same DNA with you.
I
You
like that.
have to make intentional choices about who should occupy your space and time. And it sounds very simple to say. I know it's very difficult to do,
Yeah.
but I think that when you articulate your boundaries, and I have a few B words that help, right? Does this person give you the blues, right? This person gives you the blues, maybe they shouldn't be going into your 2026. Is this
Yeah.
person basic? And when I say basic, I'm not talking about like, basic as you see on social media, right? I'm saying like, is there something special about them in your relationship, right?
Yeah.
Is it more than just the basics?
Right.
Is this person boring? Like it's a funny thing to say, but sometimes you're looking for
It's true
something new,
though.
right? Is the person boring? And
Yeah.
so you want to just think about a few different ways to evaluate whether the relationship is still serving you.
Mhm.
Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. But I think those are a few different ways to think about it. I also think when someone shows you their patterns, Justine, it's really important to believe them. My grandfather used to say, when someone shows you who they are,
100%.
believe them, right?
Yes.
And so I think when you're seeing patterns, if someone's not respecting your articulated boundaries, if someone is avoiding you or using distance instead of having a conversation,
Mhm.
I will say that closure doesn't always mean a conversation. Closure could be deciding to move forward, right, without having that conversation.
Yeah.
And so there are different ways to figure out how to maintain the relationship in the future. But I think a person has to just take a step back
Yeah.
and decide whether or not it's worth it.
I think what you just said was a big takeaway. I've been hearing that a lot more lately about closure.
Yeah.
It's not always this present that you wrap up in a bow and
Yes.
okay, I feel closure now. It
Yes.
it looks different and we have to also realize that it won't necessarily always feel like, "Oh, I did that and now I feel good."
It's so true. And I think what's important, and it's funny coming from me as a lawyer, right? Like, you don't have to be with that person who always wants to relitigate everything that happened in the past. We
Yes.
all know those people who are like,
Yes.
remember back in 1972
Right.
when this happened, or you never gave me a 50th birthday present, or
Right.
whatever. We have to move forward.
Yeah.
You just think about if you're driving a car, you will crash if you're looking backwards,
Right.
right? And so I want people to think about how do you move forward and who in your life is going to help you with that forward momentum. So there are different
Yes.
ways to think about it, but people who want to relitigate everything in the past, maybe they shouldn't be in this next chapter.
Who's got time for
No
that?
one has time for
No one's
that.
got time for that. So before I let you go, tell us all a little bit about the book.
Mhm.
What can we take away from the book and where do we get it?
Certainly. So be who you are to get what you want is exactly what it sounds like. Before, there were so many different books that said you have to be like this person to be successful or do what I
Right.
did to be successful. No, scrap that. It's really important for people to think about what their strengths are, what they bring to the table,
Yeah.
and how to find more opportunities to shine and to put those strengths forward. So I want people to think about being who they are to get what they want, taking these tips, right? Throughout the book, in every chapter, there's a negotiation in real life toolkit, right? And so
Ooh,
at the end, you can figure out how do I take this and make it my
I
own
like
and
that.
utilize it to get what I want. And
Mm-hmm.
so it's everywhere. Anywhere you buy books, you can find it.
Love
It's
it.
in 75 countries. It's
My
doing quite
gosh.
well. It's won some awards. So I'm really happy that it's here with us today.
Congratulations.
Thank
That's a
you.
huge feat. And thank you so much. I feel like I could just keep asking you questions. This is really great information and a great takeaway for the new year. So thank you for being here.
My pleasure.
All right, you guys, we'll be right back.